There's a test probe here, using a little capacitor as a test lead. The radio should be warmed up now, and what I wanted to show you was some symptoms of how flaky some problems can be with these old radios. And I was telling John about it, and he got a kick out of it when I told him I turned it on and it wasn't working. Oh, good, it's not working. In other words, I wanted to capture this so I could show you what it was doing. And what it's doing is you turn it on and it does nothing, or sometimes you turn it on and the sound is extremely weak. But if you just touch it somewhere on the inside, usually on the high voltage somewhere in the circuit, on the coil sides, it'll start playing.
Reading on spring economic activity, the Commerce Department says the economy contracted less than expected in the second quarter. The market ended mixed. The Dow Jones Industrials down 17 points at 9,171. The Nasdaq fell 5 points. The S&P was up less than 1 point. I'm Marcy Norton with the Wall Street Journal.
Now it'll play the rest of the day. I turn it on or off. And there's several other places that I can touch in there in this situation. Now the chassis was cold.
In reverse, phone loss.
An interesting problem that has come about. Well, I think I have found the problems. This radio had multiple loose connections, solder connections, and I replaced some resistors there and up there in the oscillator circuit, which may not have been necessary. Let's turn this thing on. I found 3 solder connections that looked real good but weren't.
And Saturday, just a few showers, highs in the mid-80s. I'm ABC 11 AccuWeather meteorologist Chris Ullman for News Talk 680 WPTF. For news on demand, log on to...
Okay, I'll turn that down. I even tried another oscillator tube, but got out a, this is a blue Octorus number 27 tube, and the symptoms were the same. As you saw earlier, I could touch almost anything on the inside and the radio would start playing, and then it would play for all day long, and I could turn it on and off and it continued to play. And some other things that I found was all the screws on the variable capacitors were loose. They weren't as tight as they should be. They weren't sloppy loose, but I cleaned and tightened them, and now I think we're in business.
Face, arm, or leg, sudden trouble seeing, speaking, or understanding.
promise I should be hooked on money.
Do not bribe this man with drugs to try to get on the air.
Oh my God!
The boss is back. Live on studios of Fox Sports Radio.
Because I know the secret that you keep.
Podcasting on Fox Sports Radio.
So we're going to
Here's Tony Bruno.
align it now and run it for a few days, and that should be it.
Event happening in the United States on a Thursday night, and this reporter.
Here's a picture of the top of the chassis, and you can see the first screw right up in front. There's 4 of them altogether. The other 3 are somewhat of a challenge to get to. You have to use different size and lengths of screwdrivers to get at them, but they're all nice and tight and snug now. And the 3 other loose connections inside of the chassis, well, with all that, the symptoms would vary, and occasionally it would do different things. So it is interesting when there's more than one problem. This is the problem I wanted to show you. A bunch of loose connections in many different places, and sometimes you turn it on and it'd play like it's supposed to. So that's why I was happy when I was able to capture it when it wasn't working right, so I could show you what the symptoms was. And basically what I was doing was kick-starting that oscillator.
Reading on spring economic activity, the Commerce Department says the economy contracted less than expected in the second quarter. The market ended mixed. The Dow Jones Industrials down 17 points.